What is up guys, it's your boy Swell. I'm here, back with another Dragonflight Goldmaking video. So first of all, why am I wearing a blanket? I'm just going to beat you to the question. Well, I live in Norway and it's the middle of November right now. It is actually super cold, so that is why. Secondly, today we're talking about Dragonflight gathering professions, and I want to do a little bit of a review of Dragonflight gathering, talk a little bit about it, my plans and how I can use gathering to make a lot of gold in Dragonflight. Gathering is looking probably better than ever actually when it comes to gold making, and I'll be talking about why in this video. So first off, you can see the experience we're getting from actually gathering as well. We're getting about 2.3k, which is about the same as 1% of a level for every single object that we loot while gathering. This is obviously with rested experience, so 1% with rested experience. If you don't have rested, then let's count that as 0.5% per object you loot, so 200 objects equals 1 level. So leveling up with gathering is actually going to be super fast. And let's talk about the gold making aspect. So I've been doing some professional review series, and for example blacksmithing is looking to be huge, and you need so many different ores for blacksmithing. So by being the person that is actually supplying those materials, you can demand a certain price for them. And when it comes to, for example, blacksmithing, crafting will be huge. And when it comes to herbalism, well, that is always going to be huge because alchemists use them for crafting potions and flasks, which are always in demand, and even more so in demand when the raids open up after 2 weeks and people start doing raids. They need flasks, and throughout the entire expansion they need flasks as well. And especially at the beginning of the expansion, these professions will be huge because people will be looking to skill up their crafting profession. Like for example, once again, let's just use alchemy and blacksmithing as examples here. So people will need tons of these ores and herbs to actually skill up their professions. I think mining will be slightly better than herbalism this time around, because mining is used for example, jewel crafting, engineering and blacksmithing, all of which are absolutely huge professions. And this time around, like, herbalism is always used in inscription and alchemy. That being said, the main craft through inscription, which has always been huge for every expansion, has been dark moon cards, and we still have dark moon cards this time around as well, and you can start crafting them once you spec into them, which is based on you having a certain specialization. And the thing is, you don't need to actually get herbs for them. To craft a dark moon card now, you use different elements you farm in the open world, so rousing air, rousing fire, rousing earth, and all of those stuff. So you don't actually need to have herbs to actually, well, make those dark moon cards. So for inscription, you don't need that many herbs anymore, not like you used to at least, but you will still need some herbs to skill up. So herbalism and mining will be huge at the beginning. But let's talk about this. I've gotten so many messages about what my plans are and which character I'm going to level up first in Dragonflight, and I will have a huge launch guide coming out very soon. But I do want to say this: you don't need to level up your herbalism and mining character first, because you can actually do this on an alt. And if you level up, like for example, I'm leveling up my monk first with skinning and tailoring for doing 2x4 farming, and I'll be having a druid with herbalism and mining as an alt. And the thing is, when you get your dragon riding and you collect all of those glyphs on your main, you will have that on your alt as well. So on this character right here, I currently have maxed out dragon riding with all the skills available, and I haven't done anything on this alt. I did everything on my main, but once you have done it once, it is account unlocked. So you can actually have maxed out dragon riding on your alt at level 60. So there's no need to rush your herbalism and mining character to max level. There's pretty much no benefit between being level 60 and level 70 for herbalism and mining. The only difference is your skill level. So a level 60 character with herbalism and mining can in theory farm the same gold per hour as a level 70 person with herbalism and mining. The only differences might be some daily quests and weekly quests, but let's just put it like this: if you level up your first main to level 70, you then have probably a week to level up your alt as well. And based on, you can see the experience I'm getting right here, I'm getting about 15% in 10 minutes, so it goes super fast to actually get the A level here, with rested obviously. But let's just be a bit conservative here. This is the beta after all, so I'm getting pretty much all the nodes to myself. But let's say it takes you 2 hours per level with Herbalism and mining. In 20 hours, you will then suddenly be max level, and you might have farmed at least 1 million gold in that 20 hours as well. So you will have farmed a lot of gold, and you are now suddenly max level. So there's no need to actually rush your gathering character to max level. I would definitely have gathering on an alt instead and focus on something else for your main. Even if you're not raiding, if you're just doing gold farming, level up a character with skinning and herbalism, skinning and tailoring for 2x4 farming first, and then start doing herbalism and mining on an alt, because once again, there's no differences between being level 60 and being level 70. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about why I think herbalism and mining is going to be so great. Now, we have a regional auction house this time around, which you can look at this 2 ways. First of all, there's way more competition for sales. You're now basically combining all the servers together, so the supply will be a lot higher. But a region-wide auction house also means something else, doesn't it? We now have a region-wide demand as well, which means that, for example, I think flasks and potions are very server-specific, where they used to be, based on if people are raiding on your server. Well, now that's no longer the case, right? People will need herbs and ores no matter what, because they are region-wide. So if you're playing on a low-pop server, where there's nobody raiding Mythic, you might have had very low herb prices previously, but now those prices are going to be a lot more stable, and the actual demand will be super high. So yeah, you shouldn't really worry about the supply and being able to sell your stuff. I do think pretty much everything will sell. Now let's go over some couple advice here. So first of all, if you do have mining, there's one thing I've seen so far on the beta, and that is that draconium ore is looking to be the most difficult one to get. So you might want to focus more on, for example, draconium than something like ceravite. So for example, try to farm in molten areas or around molten areas for draconium. It also makes sense because draconium is used in the most notable type of alloys that you're crafting through blacksmithing and mining. So yeah, draconium worth more than ceravite probably, and you might want to focus a little bit more on draconium. You're also getting lots of rousing elements while you're farming herbalism and mining as well. So you can, for example, find titanium touched or titan touched herbs. You can find hardened mining ores. You can find molten mining ores as well, giving you rousing fires, for example. So you can get stuff like rousing earth, rousing fire, rousing order, rousing frost, all of that stuff, just from doing herbalism and mining, and those will be in massive demand as well. So I do think herbalism and mining is going to be a huge way to make some gold. And one more thing I want to mention, like you're seeing right here, you can get some different types of stones and research materials while you're farming, and generally speaking, you can get one of each individual specific item, plus there's one type of item that will increase your skill by 1, or your actual knowledge points by 1, that you can get 6 of those per week, and you can farm for them. So if you farm for about 2 to 3 hours, you should be getting all 6 of those, giving you some extra knowledge to put into your profession to get even more stuff out. Like you can start getting multi-craft stuff, higher tier stuff, and just getting better stuff really, increasing your gold per hour overall. So here you can see once again draconium being found in the molten areas, and you can find a molten type of draconium as well, and giving you some rousing fire from this location too. Like right here, you have a molten draconium deposit. So this one, you will see right now, we're looting a lot of stuff, draconium ores and rousing fire, and also this ore sample, the heated ore sample, which increases our non-mining knowledge points by 1. Now, one more thing that I want to bring up in regards to, for example, herbalism and mining is the botting factor. So I do think botting is going to be a lot more difficult this time around, because if you've been watching this footage close enough, a lot of the mining veins and the ores, the mining veins and also the herbalism nodes are up in the air. They're on like sort of, they're up in the air in different places to reach, and you want to have dragon riding to reach those places. So being a bot and getting these, getting the actual stuff is a lot more difficult now, and also navigating your way through with dragon riding will be a little bit difficult to program into botting programs. So being a bot will be a little bit less lucrative right now, which is a good thing for us actual gold farmers out here. Now, if you're looking for example, herbalism mining routes, I will add those into the gold guide eventually as well. I do have a Dragonflight gold guide where I have included over 40 different Dragonflight gold farms that I have found so far on the beta, based on skinning, tailoring, farming mobs in the open world, and a bunch of them are able to get you probably about 100 to 200k gold per hour. Some of them are going to be absolutely insane on day 1, so if you want to make make some gold in Dragonflight and you made it this far into the video, then check out the gold guide through the link down below. And just for watching this video all the way to the end, I'll be giving you a 50% off code, which is Solheim. So by using the code Solheim, when you purchase the guide, you will get it for half price. So check it out through the link down below. I'll be updating this guide throughout the entire expansion, giving you the best gold making opportunities and the gold farms available in the expansion. So check that one out through the link down below. That is pretty much the video though. Gathering is going to be insane. Make sure to check it out, and that's pretty much it. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more Dragonflight content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.